For daily ask Reddit, hey shy people, what is your worst experience? My husband got me to go to a party with him at our friend's house. Got there, friend hugged me hello, and then said wow you smell really good, and then I swear to god everyone got up and went I want to smell, and I was surrounded by people sniffing me seconds after walking into a party. I wanted to die. It wasn't even perfume or anything, it was my hair oil. If I could afford therapy this would definitely come up. Sat at the back of the class in Spanish when the teacher from the front asks a question. Being the little nerd I was in school, my hand shot up. The teacher then looked over, pointed directly at me and said señorita. I was a very feminine, underdeveloped and late through puberty 15-year-old boy with longer than usual hair. I stopped answering any teacher's questions willingly from that point. I was very small for my age and had a similar experience in 5th grade. I liked having long hair, and it grew in big golden ringlets that hung down to my shoulders. All the moms thought I was adorable and couldn't keep their hands off. There would always be at least one wanting to touch my hair. They'd run their fingers through it and say look at those curls, or look how they shine in the sun, or the girls must be so jealous, and so on. I just wanted to be left alone, but they couldn't help themselves, apparently. It was very annoying. The worst though was the day we had a guest speaker who wanted to interact with the students, so he started off by asking questions. I put my hand up along with some other kids and the man said yes, in the front, the pretty little girl with the yellow curls. Everyone laughed and I had to start my answer with first, I'm a boy. I wouldn't say this is my worst experience, but it's amusing to me. I was setting up a network in a small satellite office and was still working when the last other person left. It was nighttime and they didn't see me or know I was still there, so they turned out all the office lights as they left. I left them off because I enjoy working in the dark and do it often. After like an hour another worker came back into the office to do something or another, and rather than have to say hi I opted to hide under the desk I was at in an open office as a 35-year-old man. I'm not sure why I did that, but luckily they didn't notice me and left again after about 15 minutes. Had a high school buddy who was sworn to silence to most people, even teachers, yet a select few kids he'd talk to. Funniest guy I've ever met. Said he's gone full years without saying a word to his own teachers. Edit. Wow, thanks for the upvotes and responses. I didn't think this would get attention. We would get on his bucks and play with him, and he'd be the loudest and smack talk everyone. Really cool guy, wish I kept in touch. While going to college I interned for the state's largest business development corporation. In a meeting with C-suite executives the top dog was just making friendly conversation before we got started and asked me what classes I was taking. To set the picture, I'm just the peon note taker and would never expect anyone to even notice that I was there, let alone put me on the spot with a long table of successful professionals staring at me. I blacked out. Zero brain function. I mumbled a few inaudible grunts and ums before having no choice but to admit that I couldn't remember. Oh my dog, I wanted to die. The looks of confusion and the awkward century that it took to switch topics amongst themselves still haunts me before bed. I was in elementary and took a bus home each day. I missed my stop and I was so terribly shy and quiet the bus driver didn't hear me. He went on to pick up high school students and didn't notice I was still on the bus. The high school students were so sweet and kind. They alerted the bus driver and he took me home. My mom was freaking out by the time I got home. Mandatory speech class when I was a freshman in college. I'd do the thing, then go back to my dorm and throw up. Really freaked out my roommate, who I barely spoke to. 5 speeches that semester. It was a nightmare. I really ducking hate public speaking with a passion. For my speaking exam in year 10th I was allowed to do it with just the teacher and a couple friends of my choice to be the audience. Then in year 11th we was told they lost our results, so we had to do it again. I cried in class, but was too shy to tell anyone why. Had to do it in front of the whole class, but was allowed to just stand at my desk. Didn't help much, and I still hate it.